Okay, so we are live on Facebook, on Zoom.
Ooh.
Hi, with Emma from Dear Emma Wedding Stationery. So, Emma, first of all, if you can just kind of introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Okay, so Dear Emma Wedding Stationery was something I've thought about doing for a while, ever since I sort of got married a couple of years ago. It was something that I wanted to do in the back of my mind in terms of stationery, because I did a lot of my own stationery for my wedding. But never really pushed to do it. And then last year I went on to maternity leave and had my daughter Isla, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then this year, so January, I sort of started it, and then this is now kind of starting pushing it even more now. So yeah, I'm fairly new in terms of the wedding supplier side of it. But as you know me, Jess, I've worked with weddings for a very long time.
Yeah, so I mean, you are the go-to person. Like, if somebody wanted to know about weddings, then you're the right person to ask. So you've got knowledge because you've worked in the wedding industry for years.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So if a couple was to book you for their wedding stationery, so you do like everything, like table plans, you've got one there.
So this was my one that I had for my wedding. So this is the one that I kind of done. And yeah, so I can do obviously the invitation, save the dates, anything from sort of pre-wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously on the day, so you've got things like your order of services, table plans, menus, table numbers, guest book, post box, and then sort of things after your wedding day. So post weddings, you've got like keepsake memory boxes or thank you cards that you want to send out to guests after the day. So the stationery ranges from kind of pre-wedding right through to then after as well.
And if somebody, so does somebody need to come to you with like the full idea of exactly what they want, or can they just kind of come to you and say, I've got no idea, can you help me with some ideas? Or how would somebody go about initially?
It's kind of a bit of both, to be honest, because I think a lot of people nowadays in couples that I've worked with in the past, a lot of people use Pinterest. So you see a lot of ideas and interest on there, and people have this idea of what they want in their stationery. So yeah, by all means, come to me with what you think that you would like, but at the same time, I can provide an idea. So even if you're not quite sure what it is that you want, maybe let's talk about what it is, the colours, the styles, and then I can put something together and see if that would work. But some people, it's going to vary, because some people will know exactly what they want in their mind, whereas some people are not quite sure. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit of both. I can kind of come up with something, or if you've got an idea, I'm more than happy to work with them to do that.
And how people always ask, it's like probably one of my most asked questions, when do we send out save the dates? When do we send out invitations? So what's the ideal timeline for people booking and sending these things out?
Yeah, I think for a save the date card, I don't think it's never too early to send a save the date card. I think when you've got your venue and you've got your dates, that's the first thing that you should send out, because you want everybody that you want there to know the date that you've booked. So straight away, or do your save the date cards, whether you're having your wedding in 12 months, 18 months or 2 years, at least everybody's got their date in the diary then. But in terms of invitations, I mean, for me, I sent my invitations out sort of between 4 to 5 months before the wedding. And it kind of varies. I've worked with couples who got married with sort of 8 to 12 weeks to go, then they book their wedding, and then everything's like, okay, so just get it straight out then. But yeah, I think if you've got plenty of time and you're still got the time in terms of planning, I don't think invitations really kind of need to go out until sort of 4 to 5 months before the wedding, and then that gives you plenty of time for people to respond and put together your table plan and things like that then as well.
And what type of invitations can you do? So obviously there's like loads and loads of different types, like with the different folds, and it's all a bit like straight over my head, there's a bit too much. Look, you can do all types of invitations.
Yeah, there's lots of different styles. Okay, so the kind of most popular one that I see quite often is what they call a pocket fold invitation. So it's a bit like this one, where it kind of opens up, and then you've got the pocket at the bottom where you put all the information cards into.
That's so nice. Yeah.
So there's that sort of style, and there's loads loads of different colours or different styles or different things you can put on there.
Mm-hmm.
But that one's the most popular, I think, because a lot of people like to put the details inside the pocket and keep everything in one place. Or you can do things like, let's just show you this one. They do what you call a wallet invitation. So it comes in like a little pouch, like a little wallet.
Oh yeah, they're nice.
And then that pulls out at the top, but you've got all the information on all like individual cards. But everything is kept then in sort of inside one wallet.
Yeah,
if you like.
That's really
nice. That style. And then the other kind of thing that people do is just what they call the flat card. So it's just like just a normal card like this. Yeah. But you kind of just have individual cards, and some can be tied together with different ribbons or different, if you're doing more like a rustic style wedding, like Hessian or lace or anything like that.
And like you said, with Pinterest, like there's so many.
Yeah, so
when
many.
people get on there and start looking, there's so many things that you can do. And
and if there's something that kind of, because I'm obviously fairly new and it might not have already haven't done that yet, if you see something that they like, then contact me, and it's something that I can put together a sample and see if that works for them as well.
Yeah, and how does the sampling work? So can you just put something together for people and then send it out to them, and then they can kind of decide what they do and don't like?
Yeah, so kind of from an initial inquiry, if they give me an idea of what it is their kind of colour schemes or what it is they're looking for, or even send me any images that they've seen, I can put a sample together similar to what it is that they would like. And then from that point onwards, I'd follow up and see if they want to make any changes to it. Or if there's anything that they see on the website that I've already done, that I can do a sample of that again, like a replica. So really I can do anything. Hopefully.
Oh, you've said it now, so
I know.
So with the sort of place cards and table plan, so people when somebody else is doing their table plan, they obviously have to know who's sitting where in good time. When do you need to have that information by?
I think from my experience in terms of working at venues as well, I think a lot of venues require that information sort of about 3 weeks before, as needs to be submitted to a venue. And therefore I think kind of giving me sort of about 3 weeks before the wedding date to then put your table plan together. And that gives me kind of a bit of scope if something changed, because you just don't know, do you?
No.
If something changed and we needed to do a drastic change, it might be something that we can do, but it does give us a couple of weeks before the wedding to start the table plan, and then hopefully get that, it will be all finished then in time.
And when with all of the stationery, so if somebody booked you for everything, so table numbers, place cards, invitations, how would they get those bits? Do you send that all in the post, or how does that?
So kind of the invitations will go out via the post, or things like table plans, they're quite big to send out depending on what they're having. So again, I can arrange like a collection or meet point or whatever they want to do really, but most of the stuff can be sent out via post.
Like you said, it's usually the table plan that's the most difficult because of the size.
And I think that's the one thing that's kind of done almost at the very, very end, because that is one of the last things that you kind of can do in your wedding planning. So,
and it's nice to be able to tie it all together, like, because I think people do get a bit stressed about invitation. I don't know why, but people just do get a little bit, like the invitation process is a bit stressful for people, and they don't know what to do or where to start. So it's always worth just like asking you the question. So even if someone's not necessarily decided what they're going to do, it's worth them just sort of inquiring with you and getting your ideas as well.
And I mean, I've worked in the wedding industry for about 10 years now, so I have the experience in terms of before you booking your wedding and the planning. So I kind of know when's a good time to send things out, or if you've even got just a question about the actual wedding side of it, I can help that as well.
You're all knowing. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show your Facebook page so that people know where they can find you. So here's your page. So you've got loads of, if I go to photos, you've got obviously photo samples on here as well, so people can go and have a little look and see, get ideas of what you can do. But this is where you need to go. So it's Dear Emma on Facebook if you want to find you want to find Emma and you want to ask her any questions. If I go to the about as well. And contact details are here. So any questions, just send them over to Emma, because she knows a lot. She's worked at various venues. So and what would you say, I know you said you wanted to do this for a while, and you've taken the plunge and you've just started doing it. What do you love about it? What do you love about weddings and stationery and all that kind of thing?
I think with weddings, there is such a buzz about a wedding, and meeting and speaking to that couple for the first time and the excitement of it, and being a part of their planning process as well. And then actually just seeing the end result. So they come with this idea and the style, and then putting it all together and actually making it happen. I think there's something special about it. So yeah, and kind of just do it. I think with the stationery side of it, is the stationery that you send out to your guests is the first glimpse that your guests will have of your wedding day, and that really sets the style of what your guests are going to expect. So it gives your guests a kind of a bit of an excitement of how your wedding's going to be. So I think the stationery can be quite an important thing, because that's one of the first things your guest is gonna see at your wedding.
And would you say, so some people decide not to do save the dates?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that kind of thing? Do you think it's a good idea for people to do it, or not needed?
Yes and no. I think if you're booking your wedding quite far ahead, I would say yeah, it probably is a good thing, because you might say to somebody about the date that you've booked, and unless they've got something as a reminder, I mean, and they don't write it in their diary straight away, it could easily go out of their minds until nearer to the time when they do receive their invitation. So I think, I think save the dates are a good thing to send out. But obviously, if you're planning your wedding in such a short period of time, then I don't think there is any necessary need to send them out. I think just go straight for invitations.
I think with kind of everything that's going on at the moment, like I've said to a lot of people, for next year, it's worth sending it out just in case. It's worth sending out a save the date, because there's going to be a lot of people rescheduling weddings next year. So there's going to be a lot of parties and a lot of weekends that people are booking on holidays, and so for next year, I'd say do it. Go ahead and at least just get the date in and get it sent out to people. Yes.
It's going to be a big year next year.
So it is. So how would a couple go about booking you? What's the process for them to book you? If they said, right, today, I want to go ahead and book stationery, what would they need to do?
Okay, so if they've had their sample and they've kind of approved that and they're happy with that, the first step would then be just do a booking deposit. And then the process then would be to work with each other to send out a proof. Once they've approved that proof and it's all been signed off, then obviously the remaining balance would be required, and then I'd start the process and actually making that stationery order, and then obviously arrange then for that postage to go out to them. So yeah, that's kind of the process really, and obviously I would work with them in that lead up, going back and forth if we need to make any changes, or making sure that they are 100% happy with everything.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it's really important when with the job that you do, that people are just really honest, and if there's little tweaks that they want to make, you obviously want to make it perfect for exactly how they want it. People don't need to be precious about, they don't want to hurt your feelings if they don't like something.
No. And I think with weddings, I think people, they invest a lot of money into that special day, and it has to be perfect. It's that one day that you've envisaged for such a long time that it has to be the right thing. So there's no problem in coming back 10-20 times as long as it's perfect.
And equally, if people maybe just wanted to book you for a table plan or for place cards, they can do that. It doesn't have to be the full package. It can be other bits. Be anything.
Well. Some people might want to put their own stamp on it and make their own stationery in certain parts of the day, and that's fine. So, but if you just wanted the table plan, again, that's fine. So whatever you kind of wanted, really.
Perfect. Well, that's all my questions.
Oh, okay.
So thank you very much.
All right.
It's easy and painless. So if anybody wants to find you or ask you any questions, they can obviously get you on Facebook, and all the links are on there as well. I'll post the links afterwards anyway, so that if people can find you straight away.
Yeah.
But this is Emma, and she is a stationery wizard, so do go
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
check her out and like her page. No problem. And you've got Instagram as well, so
Yeah,
people can follow you on
Instagram,
Instagram.
Facebook, and obviously my website as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Emma. It was lovely to speak to you.
And you.
I'll speak to you very soon.
Yeah, take care.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.